GoPro versus water.
Hello, welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me. Really appreciate it. So I recently bought myself the GoPro Hero 10. One of the main reasons is that this camera is waterproof and I'm going to be in the water quite a lot this year. I've got a few holidays planned where I tend to be in the water, on the water, so I thought it would be useful to have this. I previously had the GoPro Hero 4, which is a few generations ago, and you still had to put it in this waterproof casing. So to just take this naked little GoPro into the water without a casing kind of felt a little bit strange, a little bit weird to me. I was just slightly concerned, even though on paper I know it said it was all okay. When you're used to putting it in a case, to not have it in a case just, yeah, made me a little bit nervous. And maybe a few of you out there are sort of feeling the same trepidation that I did. I recently went out to Mauritius where I did some water testing with the GoPro, and in this video I'm going to be switching back and forth between footage I shot whilst I was out there. Okay, I know the GoPro Hero 10 is advertised as being waterproof to 33 feet, and that's great. But if you're anything like me and you've previously used GoPros that aren't waterproof and you have to put them in a waterproof casing, you might just be a little bit nervous about putting it into the water for the first time. I know I was. So whilst I'm here in Mauritius, got the Indian Ocean right there, there are lots of opportunities to get the GoPro Hero 10 wet. So I'm doing that in this video just to give you a peace of mind that it is indeed fully waterproof. Or is it? We will see by the end of this video. GoPro versus paddleboarding. During this paddleboarding footage, I had the GoPro on the chesty. I know paddleboarding isn't the most extreme water test, but I wanted to start off without too much risk. As you can see, it didn't take long before I fell in and gave the camera its first water test. Now you'll see that the GoPro footage looks a little misty, a little hazy. There's a bit of fogging on the lens. This isn't anything to do with water ingress. I've got a good idea what's causing it, which I'll go into a little bit later in the video. Whew, it survived its paddleboarding test, and for the next water test I wanted to choose a slightly more extreme water sport. In this next section you'll see I've mixed in a bit of phone footage that was shot of me from a boat. Woo! GoPro versus wakeboarding. Sorry about the rubbish footage on this bit. This was my first time trying wakeboarding and my body was just at a weird angle that didn't really show a good POV. I thought I was going to get some cool footage of the boat in front of me and me getting towed behind with my hands in the shot, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately. I don't think I'll be using the GoPro to film any more wakeboarding anytime soon. There we go, wakeboarding, managed to get up. And the camera took a few pretty heavy hits into the water, more than a few, a lot. And the only thing I noticed was this slight sort of condensation that seemed to form on this little front screen here. But as soon as I got out of the water it disappeared and seems all good now, so GoPro survived wakeboarding. Thank you, brilliant, cheers. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
That was brilliant, thank you so much.
Bye. I'm still not sure what that condensation was, but it might link in with the fogging issue on the lens, which you can see plagued me during this wakeboarding footage as well. This was actually a problem that plagued me across all my cameras whilst I was in Mauritius. It is so humid there that when the cameras have been in an air-conditioned room, to bring them out into high humidity in the outdoors, the inside of the camera took a little while to heat up to the outdoor temperature, and during that time the lenses just seem to fog up. If you're in a similar situation, if you're shooting in a hot, humid country, all you got to do is bring your cameras into that outdoor temperature for 15 to 20 minutes until the temperature inside the camera matches the humidity, and then you should be all good. So no leaks with the paddleboarding or the wakeboarding, but for the next test I wanted to take it a little bit deeper. GoPro versus swimming with wild dolphins. Early start here on Mauritius because today we're going to go and swim with dolphins. This is our boat. It's going to take us about 25 minutes to go and find the dolphins. We're just arriving at the area where There are quite a few boats, so hopefully there's some dolphins here that we can see and maybe swim with if we're lucky. So we've just got sightings of spinner dolphins. Have you seen them? The pod's underneath us right now, amazing. That was a great swim then, wasn't it? Yeah. Gosh, we were swimming along with a little pod for a while and got down and got close. I'm just hoping the GoPro got some decent footage. Oh, that was amazing. Oh, they're over there. You can see them, but I think we must have been out for 2 hours now, so yeah. I think it's time to start calling it a day and head back and look at the footage. Alright, so definitely gave my GoPro Hero 10 some good dunkings in some salty seawater. I didn't go more than 33 feet, although I did get fairly deep with the dolphins, but it held up absolutely fine. One thing I'm not too sure about, which you'll probably know when you're watching this video, is how good the microphone is when the camera's wet. I've heard on other people's GoPros, when it gets wet, the microphone can just sound a little bit like someone's talking underwater. So I will not know that until I look back at my footage. You will know that already. But aside from that, in terms of the camera working in the water, it's amazing. It is so good that we can have a GoPro and not worry about putting it in a housing. I love it. The GoPro Hero 10 is a great action camera. I've loved using it in the water, and I hope that watching this video has given you the peace of mind that you can buy one, use it in the water. It is absolutely fine. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to my beautiful assistant Mass, who did all that wonderful focus pulling. He's covered in sand. I am so thrilled with that dolphin footage and no hazy or misty lens, which is good. I think the camera just had time to get used to the humidity, but this GoPro 10 really came into its own on this dolphin trip. I didn't quite take it 32 feet, although I did go pretty deep at times. Swimming with dolphins is pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime deal. I don't know if I'll ever have the opportunity to do that again. So to be able to use this camera to record the moments was just amazing. For that alone, in my mind, it makes the price of this camera worth it. I also want to mention the audio on this, because underwater it recorded some nice underwater sounds. I was going to put some sound effects on the underwater footage and thought, well, I don't need to. I've got all the sound recorded on this. It gave a nice atmosphere, and also it picked up the sound of the dolphins chattering away, which was, I wasn't expecting it. It kind of blew my mind. On dry land, the audio is also good, unless it's very windy. If you're in a windy environment, you probably want to be putting an external microphone on it. One thing to watch out for though, which you might have seen in the video, is when you recently emerge from water, there is still water in where the sound gets recorded in and around the microphone. So it just takes a few minutes for the water to dry up or drain away, and then you should have that nice crispy audio back. Okay, that's it. After doing these tests, I am 100% happy taking my GoPro Hero 10 into the water. If it's something you were worried about or concerned about, I hope that it's put your mind at rest, and if you were thinking of buying this camera to use underwater, that you can do so with the peace of mind that it's going to be fine. If you found this video useful, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you do that, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.